Tip number 1. As you advance in the campaign, you actually get huge penalties to your character's survivability, which can be a determining factor to whether you survive or not. Rings are the best ways to boost these defensive layers, as many of the ring types improve these through their implicit stats. However, it's important to obtain this from other sources of gear as well, as even just a low increase spread over several gear pieces can make a world of difference. We're talking about that every act introduces a penalty to all resistances of minus 10%, so make sure to check them frequently. If any are below around 20 to 30%, you're in great danger. Always ensure that your resistances are high enough. Tip number 2. If you're underleveled or undergeared, it's okay to leave the fight, level up, get better gear, and come back. Every 8 to 50 minutes, PoE 2 resets areas, wiping out monsters and loot. But here's the trick. You can reset instances for areas yourself. This is perfect for farming specific gear or running side quests. If you're farming currency or looking for a rare item, knowing how to reset areas is a game changer. In order to do this, you can hold the control button while left clicking on the waypoint. If you need a progression boost, farm bosses and rares by resetting instances of the areas you want to farm. Tip number 3. Having adequate life and mana sustain is crucial to surviving and progressing. The arguably best source for this are your flasks, and many people tend to forget that these can actually be upgraded and crafted just like any other item. Throw some orbs on them to see a drastic change in behavior. A pro tip is to get the instant recovery modifier so that you don't have to wait a certain time to get the healing. Upgrading flasks can give a huge boost and even tip the scale of a fight to your favor. Tip number 4. Area of effect skills are awesome for clearing larger groups of enemies, and usually the skill that most players focus on. Sometimes too much. When you finally reach a boss, you might find that the skill clearing large groups of mobs are actually quite ineffective for single targets. Having a single target skill focusing mainly on the highest damage output possible to one target will make bosses so much easier. Always make sure to use the right skill for the fight. Tip number 5. If you're stuck on a quest objective, sometimes the problem is just not knowing where to go. If you're lost, you can check the quest journal, read NPC dialogues that often contain hints of where to go, and look for new areas on the map. And if you spend more than 50 minutes finding a certain quest objective, you should rather search for it on the web to not miss valuable game time. Don't spend time wandering aimlessly around looking for the quest objectives, but seek help from other sources such as Discord or forums. Tip number 6. Feeling stuck on a boss or tough enemy packs? Take a step back. If mana is an issue, try support gems like Clarity, giving you increased mana regen, or passive points like Eldritch Battery, where your energy shield is converted to mana. If DPS is an issue, crafting, buying, or farming a new weapon can make the world of difference. It is important to check your entire build, locate the core issue, and fix it. Tip number 7. Bosses usually specialize in a subset of damage types and ailments or debuffs, such as chaos and poison damage and a slow debuff. To counter this, make sure you equip gear that boosts survivability for these specific areas. Many people overlook the importance of charms in this respect, where for instance a poison charm can do wonders for a boss dealing poison damage. Viper Napuatsi, anyone? Bosses also telegraph their most dangerous attacks, so watch for visual or audio cues and wind-ups that show you when an attack is coming. Learn the boss movement and attack patterns and gear up to counter damage types and debuffs. Now, if you enjoyed this video, you can click on the playlist in the description to see other tips videos, or simply click the video card showing on the screen right now. And remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons to stay tuned for more upcoming tips videos.